Hey, what's up? So in today's video I'm gonna be talking about all the books I read in the spring and the summer. Summer I pretty much ended the end of August. I'm not counting the books that I read the first few weeks of September, even though technically speaking the end of September, the end of summer is today, the 22nd. But yeah, I stopped counting my books for summer at the end of August. So there's 10 books alone for spring. So because that happened so long ago, I'm just gonna go through it pretty quickly, because I won't be giving a lot of details about them, because if I do, we'll be here forever. And pretty much for all of the books that I read in spring, there's some sort of video that I filmed that I talk in more detail about that book. So I'm gonna put up a card here with where you could find a video that I did that goes into more detail about the books I'm gonna talk about for the spring. The summer ones I might go a little bit more into, but yeah, I might go a little bit more into it. Yeah, so the spring is gonna be a little bit like rapid fire. Okay, so starting with spring, I finished off the Grisha trilogy. So I read Ruin and Rising by Leigh Bardugo. I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. And again, video here. Then I read Incendiary by Zoraida Cordova, and I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. Video here. Then I read A Torch Against the Night by Sabaa Tahir. Video. Gave this 4 out of 5 stars. Then I read the Six of Crows duology, so that's Six of Crows in Cricket Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. And for Six of Crows, I gave 4 out of 5 stars. And for Cricket Kingdom, same, 4 out of 5 stars. Then I also read my favorite Half Night Stand, Christina Lauren, gave that 4 out of 5 stars. Then I read Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Maniscalco, and I gave that 4 out of 5 stars. Then I read Realm Breaker by Victoria Aveyard, the first book in her Realm Breakers trilogy, I believe it is, and I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. I also read the second book in the Hot and Hammered trilogy, Love Her or Lose Her, and I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. And the last book I read in spring was Love Your Life by Sophie Kinsella. I gave this 3 out of 5 stars, but I think it's really like a 2.5 out of 5 stars. If you want to know all my thoughts and feelings, video here. I did dedicated vlog for this, and I also did a dedicated vlog for Realm Breakers, so they'll be linked above as well. Okay, now let's get into my summer reads. So the first book I read in the summer was A Wedding in December by Sarah Morgan. I did a week of Christmas in July, so I was trying to read a few Christmas books, but I only got one done, so that was this. So this is about this family who their daughter is getting married, and it just goes into the whole family dynamic and how the parents are getting divorced, but they haven't told their kids yet, even the kids are adults. And then Rosie, who's the one that's getting married, and just everything that she has to deal with the wedding, and trying to decide if that's the right thing to do, to marry this guy. And then we also follow Katie, who thinks that her sister is making a mistake by marrying this guy, and she's doing everything in her ability to stop the wedding. And then this she also has like a little romance with the best man, of course, because that always happens. So there's that. Did I say how many stars I gave it? I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. It was alright. Then I reread Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard, the first book in the Red Queen series. This was a reread, buddy read with my friend Carleni. I have a blog over here. I think it was spoiler. I'm pretty sure I did spoiler. I can't remember, but it's linked up here. Guys don't know what Red Queen is about. It's about this girl named Mayor. In her world, everybody's separated by blood, either a red blood or a silver blood. If you're a red blood, you're like the common folk, and then if you're silver, you have magical abilities, and you're like royalty, the nobility, and like just the people who are like higher up. So one day Mare finds herself in front of the king and realizes that she has magical abilities of her own, even though she's a red blood. So yes, gave this 4 out of 5 stars, which I'm pretty sure is the same rating I gave it the first time I read it. And I read the second book in the American Royals duology, Majesty by Catherine McGee. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. This is just like a fun read. Like, don't go like into it like thinking like there's something like deep about it. It's just it's a fun time. There's drama. So basically the first book, American Royals, it's basically what if George Washington, instead of being offered the presidency, he was offered a crown, and this follows his descendants way down the line, and you know, being American royals. So yeah. The next book I read was A Reaper of the Gates by Sabbath Tahir, the third book in the An Ember in the Ashes quartet, and I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. I have a whole dedicated vlog for this, and I linked the playlist for the 3 books that I've read, the first 3 books that I've read up here. I have dedicated vlogs for each one. So so if you don't know, An Ember in the Ashes follows the first book follows 2 characters, Laia and Elias, and Laia is a scholar slave and Elias is a soldier, right? Yeah. So basically they both feel trapped in the world, and there's so much that is involved in this world and what is going on, and it like branches off from like the first book, like what happened in the second book, which is like what? Yeah, so basically they're trying to take down there's so much about the series that I really don't know what to focus on to talk about, like explaining what this book's about. I feel like I'm doing a horrible job, but yeah, there's so much that goes on in this series. But yeah, the first book, it starts off with Laia trying to gain information from the commandant, I think, like the headmistress of Radcliffe, which is like the school where they train like their military. So yeah, so Laia is trying to get information for the rebels so they can take down the empire, and Elias is trying to escape the empire because he feels trapped in his world, and he feels his morals don't align with what their morals are, so he's trying to like break away from that. But yeah, like I keep saying, there's so much more that goes into this that it's hard to explain what this book's about. But again, I have dedicated reading vlogs for each of the books so far. I haven't read the last book yet, but that will come somewhere in the near future. Then I did a little Disney Magic reading week. I'll link up my reading blog for that up here. So I just read some Disney books. So the first book I read was Mirror Mirror by Jen Colanita. This is a Snow White Twisted Tales, part of the Twisted Tales series, and this is What If the Evil Queen Poisoned the Prince, and I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. And then that week I also read, so this is Love by Elizabeth Lim, and the twist for this one is What If Cinderella Never Tried on the Glass Slipper, and I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. Then the last book I read this summer was Dial A for Aunties by Jessie Q Sutanto, and this one more broke. So I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. I had so much fun reading this. So basically what this book is about, it follows Maddie, who she works with her family, with her aunties and her mom at a wedding planning business. So she takes photos of the weddings. One of her aunts does the cake, her other aunt is entertainment, and the other aunt is makeup, and then her mom does flower arrangements. So they have like a little family business going on. But the interesting part about this is that Maddie goes on a blind date and she accidentally murders him. So she has to enlist the help of her mom and her aunties to help her get rid of the body, and craziness ensues from there. I had so much fun reading this. I laughed aloud so many times, and yeah, it was so much fun to read. I also have a reading walk for this, so I'll link it up here. Oh, actually, it's not up yet, but once it's up, I'll link it somewhere. But yeah, so much fun reading this, and like I said, 4 out of 5 stars. And then I forgot I read this. I read the last book in the Hot and Hammered trilogy, which was Tools of Engagement. So basically, I talked about the second book too, Love Her or Lose Her, that I read in the spring. The first book, Fix Her Up, I read, I don't remember when, but basically this is just like, this series is just like romance smut. So it's an interesting time. Yeah. But they're like, so yeah, they're an interesting time. They're not like very like deep or anything like that. Like I mentioned in my vlogs, and it's in my Dial A for Aunties vlog, so you haven't seen that yet. So basically I talk about it in that vlog too, where like the first book, Fix Her Up, I didn't know what I was getting myself into, so I didn't enjoy it. And then the fact that the male love interest kept calling the main character baby girl was annoying and weird, and I was just like, what is this? But then when I read the second book, Fix Her Up, this past spring, the male main character called this wife Honey Girl, and I'm like, what is this? It's not as, that's not as bad as Baby Girl, but still I was just like, what's happening? So then when I read the third book, I was like, if the male main character doesn't call our the main character a nickname with the word baby in it, I'm gonna be upset, because now it's a theme and we need to keep going with the theme because it's the last book in the series, right? So he calls her baby. Nothing too creative, just baby. But at least it's something, right? But yeah, I was like, if he does have a nickname for her that involves the word baby, I'm gonna be upset because it's a theme now. You can't like not continue on with the theme for the last book. Like, what is that? So yeah, so those are all the books that I read this past spring and summer. I am so excited for my fall TBR and dig into those books and spooky season and all of that, so that should be fun. Please let me know down below if you guys have read any of these books and your thoughts and feelings. No spoilers, of course. Keep the comment section without spoilers. And if you like this video, please give me a like so I can know what kind of video I should post on here. Also, what kind of style of wrap-ups do you like? Do you like how I did the spring section? Was a bit like more rapid fire? Or do you want to know more detail about what the books are about? Let me know. Because yeah, it's already 19 minutes. We're gonna, if I went through each and every book that I read, you'll be here forever. So yeah, so yeah, that is all. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to become a member of our little family here on Yari Hearts Books. Also, all my social media links will be linked down below in the description box. You can follow me on there, and I'll catch you guys here next time. Bye.